If you're a lover of lesbian movies, 2026 is about to be your year. Not the usual predictable stories, but films that feel real, emotional, and impossible to forget. This lineup brings everything: soft romance, messy love, deep connections, and moments that hit way harder than you expect. Some stories will take you back to first love. Some will explore complicated relationships that don't have easy answers. And a few will completely surprise you. These aren't just movies you watch and move on from. They stay with you, replay in your mind, and make you feel every moment. So if you're ready for something fresh, bold, and actually worth your time, let's dive into 10 new lesbian movies you need to watch in 2026. Mother Mary, 2026. It opens with a performance that looks perfect from every angle. A pop star stands under bright lights, moving with confidence, completely in control of the moment. But as soon as the stage fades away, the illusion breaks. Offstage, she feels distant from herself, like she has been playing a role for so long that she no longer remembers who she really is. Her life is carefully managed, her image constantly watched, and her emotions hidden behind layers of expectation. Everything changes when she reconnects with a fashion designer from her past. This isn't just a professional meeting. There is history between them, something deep and unresolved. As they begin working together again, old feelings start to return, not in a dramatic way, but through quiet moments that slowly build tension. The film focuses on how identity can become fragmented when you are constantly performing for the world. Their connection feels complicated, filled with admiration, regret, and longing. By the end, the story asks a simple but powerful question. Can you ever truly return to a feeling you once buried, or does time change it forever? Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, 2026. This story begins like a familiar horror setup, with a group arriving at a remote camp surrounded by silence and unease. At first, it feels like something you've seen before, but that comfort quickly disappears. The atmosphere becomes strange in a way that is hard to explain. Things don't follow normal logic. Conversations feel disconnected, and the environment itself seems to react to the characters. At the center is a filmmaker who is obsessed with recreating a cult slasher story. She is searching for the perfect final girl, but her obsession begins to blur the line between fiction and reality. As she pushes further, the people around her start changing, almost like they are slipping into roles they didn't choose. Within this chaos, a relationship forms that feels intense and unstable. It's not a traditional love story. It's more about projection, identity, and the need to be seen. Girls Like Girls, 2026. This film begins with something simple. A friendship that feels easy, like the way the other girl looks at her or how certain moments feel heavier than they should. About understanding yourself, and about finding the courage to accept something that feels both beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Montreal Marbel, 2026. The story begins with a sense of displacement. A woman moves to a new country, leaving behind everything familiar. The city feels cold and distant, and even simple interactions feel difficult. She keeps her emotions to herself, choosing silence over vulnerability. Her life is structured around routine, avoiding anything that might disrupt her sense of control. That changes when she meets someone who slowly breaks through her isolation. Their connection develops naturally, without pressure, built on quiet understanding rather than dramatic gestures. This film focuses on internal struggle more than external conflict. It explores what it feels like to hide parts of yourself for so long that you begin to forget they exist. But instead of staying in that darkness, the story leans toward hope. It shows that even after years of repression, connection is still possible. The relationship becomes a space where she can finally start to be honest, not just with someone else, but with herself. The Housekeeper, 2026. It begins in a house that feels too quiet. Large rooms, empty spaces, and an atmosphere filled with unspoken tension. The housekeeper moves through this environment with a sense of familiarity, but also secrecy. There is something she is not saying, something hidden beneath her calm exterior. When a young writer arrives, drawn to the mystery of the house, the dynamic begins to shift. Their connection develops slowly, starting with curiosity and turning into something more complicated. The film builds tension through silence rather than action. Every glance, every pause, every moment feels intentional. The Education of Jane Cumming, 2026. The story opens in a structured, controlled environment, a classroom where everything follows clear rules. Two teachers live quiet, respectable lives, maintaining a sense of normalcy that feels stable and safe. That stability is shattered when an accusation changes everything. Suddenly their private lives become public, and they are forced to defend themselves against a society that is quick to judge. Enemies with Benefits, 2026. This story begins with conflict. Two women who constantly clash, competing and arguing at every opportunity. Their interactions are sharp and energetic, filled with tension that feels almost too strong to ignore. Over time, that tension begins to change. The arguments become less hostile and more playful, and the rivalry starts to feel like something else. The transition from enemies to something more is gradual, built through shared experiences and unexpected moments of honesty. The film balances humor with emotion, creating a story that feels both entertaining and meaningful. It shows how strong connections can form in unexpected ways, and how sometimes the people we clash with the most are the ones who understand us best. The relationship develops naturally, without forcing dramatic changes, making the story feel authentic and engaging. Mixtape, 2026. It begins with a piece of music, something simple but powerful. A song that brings back memories of a time that feels distant, but not forgotten. The story follows a character reconnecting with her past through these songs, each one unlocking a different moment. Through these memories, a relationship begins to take shape, one that was never fully understood at the time. The film is filled with nostalgia, capturing the feeling of looking back and realizing how important certain moments were. The connection feels soft and emotional, built through memory rather than present action. These films show how far storytelling has come. They are not trying to fit into one category or follow one path. Each one brings something different, something honest, and something worth experiencing. And that's your list of 10 new lesbian movies you need to watch in 2026. Some of these stories will stay soft in your memory. Some will hit you unexpectedly, and a few might completely change the way you look at love and connection. That's the beauty of these films. They don't just entertain, they make you feel something real. So whether you're here for emotional storytelling, intense chemistry, or just looking for something different to watch, there's definitely a film on this list waiting for you. If you enjoyed this, make sure to stick around for more movie lists like this. And don't forget to drop your favorite in the comments. Until next time, keep watching what feels real.